Hello. What's up, you guys? Happy Friday. Woo woo. It's Friday. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Welcome to another great episode of Behind the Layers podcast, where we unveil the truth, the myths, the facts, the good, the bad, the ugly of the beauty, health, and fitness industries. My name is Kara Christensen, and I'm your host. And I am so excited about today's topic because we are rolling into spring, and then from spring right to summer. So what better time to be able to get ready for your summertime bod than taking this time in spring and getting into action, springing into action, pun intended. So welcome, you guys. Okay, hopefully this is gonna work out on Instagram today. Yes, I thank you. Hey. I'm so happy to see you guys here. So the time frames of Behind the Layers podcast are going to fluctuate from here to there, but we are going to lock down a normal time. So just make sure you hit that subscribe button from whatever platform you're watching this from so that you can know when I'm going live and you can get in on the conversation. So it's at Kara Chris TV is on YouTube. You have to put the at symbol on YouTube. Everywhere else, all the other platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X are all Kara Chris TV. Sorry, I was making sure I hit all of them. There's so many to keep track of. Anyway, happy Friday, you guys. I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for supporting this. I'm always taking my time to deep dive into these topics and come up with the things that are of interest to you guys. Thank you for writing me and sending me messages to my email too, which is behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. Everything's spelled out, behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. I really do appreciate your suggestions and questions, and I really do like helping you along your journey. So I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And today's topic is going to be a good one. We are going to talk about summertime's coming up, what swimsuits are best for you, and how intermittent fasting works. How quickly does it work? And what does it do for your hormones? Since we know now, well, for those of you that have been watching my channel, that hormones play the most important role in your mental health and your physical health. So how does intermittent fasting coincide with your hormones and overall well-being? So we're going to dive into those topics today. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, let's just start with first things first. We're going to go into what happens in your body during a fast. So let me just shrink myself a little bit here. I'm going to go down, shrinking my little head down. Wow, I have to go really down to get this one in. Okay, so, whoopsies. Let's go a little bit further. All right, let's dive in. What happens in your body during fast? This is definitely one of my favorite topics, as you can see. And also, if you want to screenshot this to save it or share it with somebody else, go for it. So this is what happens. I'm always on here talking about intermittent fasting. I do this with my clients that are on their journey into a new lifestyle change. So intermittent fasting is the best way to go about it. That is something that is sustainable, attainable, and that you will find major benefits, and it doesn't take too long to see those benefits. So there's a lot going on inside your body when you're fasting, but to really appreciate that, we need to first break down what happens when you eat. When you eat, the food you ingest usually provides more energy than your body can immediately use. So some of the energy from that food has to be stored. The hormone that controls the amount of energy used and stored is called insulin. Now, insulin is a very important role in all of this, because insulin is what we're always trying to get in check. And here's why. And it's like a key that unlocks your cells where energy can be used or stored for later use. So remember, insulin is what is the key to allow your stored fat to be used or not to be used. And here's how that works. The hormone that controls and also helps the body to store excess energy beyond what can immediately be stored in the cells. So, what we want to know about what we want to do with insulin is always keeping it in check. You do not want your insulin levels to be high, because when they're high, then it blocks your body from using that stored energy, that stored fat for energy. That's where we want to get to. So when your insulin levels are high, think of it as, like walls that are blocking you from getting into an entryway, right? These imaginary walls go up, their insulin level walls go up, and it's blocking you from getting into that stored fat, those fat units, right? Like storage units. So there's all these walls blocking the doors for the storage units, and we need to get in there. So how do we get in there? You got to lower that insulin level. So when you lower that insulin level, you can get into those stored fat and use that stored fat for fuel, for energy. That's the key. That's where we want to get. That's the sweet spot. Hey, Bo. Yeah, I know. We have a new um, internet company coming through, and they cut all the lines, and it was a big mess. But I'm on now, so hopefully that won't be a thing anymore. Fiber optics, is that what it's called? They were coming through and laying a bunch of new lines, which cut us off. So I didn't have internet for a couple days. So I apologize for that. Thanks for bearing with me, you guys. Okay, so remember, insulin is very important. That's what we want to keep in check. The first is converting energy to glycogen, which is a string of glucose molecules that are stored in the liver and the muscles. This is also very important because that's where you want that to secrete, to burn that up. That's why working out is so important, or strength training is so important, so it can start burning up some of that stored glycogen in the muscles. And that's very important because glucose turns into sugar, and then sugar is stored as fat if it's not burnt up. So you need to get it burnt up. That's why so many people are constantly saying, start moving your body, start getting a little strength training in so you can squeeze all that out of the muscles so you don't start storing more fat. So there's a limit to how much glycogen we can store. So if there is still excess energy once your glycogen stores are full, the second option is for the body to store that excess as fat in the form of triglycerides, which is not what you want to do, clearly, right? But if you get rid of it by moving your body and working out and doing strength training, then you won't store that extra as fat. If you can look down and your body has enough fat storage, you know that your body needs to be moving more, you need to be eating less and moving more. That's just the basics of it. Eating less and moving more. This is the topic for today, is why intermittent fasting is so productive and it works so well and so efficiently, and what actually happens inside of your body. So let me see, whoops, where did I go? Happens during fast. Okay, let me do this. Something that's commonly, okay, coming here. All right. Commonly misunderstood is that these fat body are not just coming from the fat we eat. It actually is coming from the carbohydrates and the protein too. So carbohydrates and protein are broken down into glucose in the intestines, where fat digest goes through a different process involving the lymphatic system. So when we're talking about storing energy in the body, it's coming from all the micronutrients that we eat: protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So back to fasting. One of the main goals people have with fasting is to lose weight, right? In order to achieve that, you want to empty your cells of the glucose and break down some of its stored fat. So how do we do that? Oh, no. Oh, thank you. I see. I see. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Back to what I was saying about the stored fat. So when you're eating, break it down like this, okay? So when you put food into your mouth, your insulin levels go up. Your walls go up around that those storage tanks. The let's just call them, storage units, like in a storage unit. You throw those insulin walls up. Now you can't get into that stored fat. You can't get into the storage units, right? So now your body is working on whatever you just ate and then burning whatever it can use for that and then storing more in the storage units. And how do you get your body to go getting into those storage units to use that energy? Well, you have to bring the insulin level down. So when you bring your insulin levels down by, let's say you ate a meal, 3 to 4 hours, now your insulin level will start to come back down. But then in 3 to 4 hours, you're putting more food back in your mouth, right? So what happens? It goes all the way back up, right? You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, let me maximize this. Whoops. How do I maximize myself? Let me go back here. I'm trying to get me back. There we go. Okay, now I can see you. Okay, right? Does that make sense? So every time you eat a meal, thank you so much, Bo. I appreciate that. So every time you eat a meal, your insulin level goes up. It takes about 3 to 4 hours for it to come back down after it's already getting digested, broken up, sent to the areas it needs to go to, and then it can bring your insulin levels down. But what happens in 3 to 4 hours? In 3 to 4 hours, you're probably putting another meal in your mouth. So then, right as it's getting a chance to get into the storage units, you throw another meal in there or a snack, and the insulin level goes back up, and you're doing the same process. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're constantly keeping those walls up, and it can't get into the storage units. So what happens when you're eating those meals also is that if you're eating more than your body needs to burn, it's going to store more. So now not only are you not working on that stored fat, you're adding more to the storage units. You see how it can get a little out of control. So that's why doing the intermittent fasting is so great, because you're giving your body more time to fast, which means your insulin levels come down, which means it can get into the storage units and then start burning off some of that stored fat in those units rather than you keep throwing more stuff down. So that's why these intermittent fasting schedules are so productive. And also, it's not just your insulin that comes down, your hormones balance out, your mental is better, your energy is higher, you can think clearer. It's so many positive things that happen when you allow the intermittent fasting to work for you. And how long does it take? That's what we want to also know, right? How long does it take for an intermittent fasting schedule to work? Like, let's say you're doing a 16-8, which means for 8 hours a day from the time you put food into your mouth to the time that to the last meal, that's going to be 8 hours. And then you give your body 16 hours to digest, to properly bring your insulin down, to start burning stored fat, all the stuff, right? So how long would that take? Let's just look at what a doctor says about. Let's go to, I like this doctor too. I have been following for a little while. Let me share this screen. And this is share screen. How long does it take? Okay, this is for the 16-8 method. Now, you guys know I've shared many different methods with you guys before on what you can do. Let me try and let me pull my face up just a little bit more. Another successful method, 16-8, I like, is just a good go-to because it's something that you can use across the board for if you're just starting out or if you've been doing it. And most age ranges from 18 to 80 can do the 16-8 method. Now, something I find very productive for some of my like 40 plus clients is the 5-2, which means 5 days out of the week, you're doing regular like window eating, and then 2 days you're not eating at all. So it could be like a Tuesday and a Friday, or however you want to break that up, is your nomad, which means you're not eating any meals that day. And then you can start the next day. So if you ate your meal at, I don't know, 6 p.m. was the last time you ate your meals the day before, you wouldn't eat until the following day at 6 p.m. See what I'm saying? So you're getting a full day fast, and that is a very quick way to get everything in check also. But the 16-8 is something that's very attainable, maintainable, and it is the most successful for my clients for sure. But how long does it take? Okay. So we're going to go through this study, and let me rule it up right here. Okay, research on how long it takes for various types of intermittent fasting to work gives us some hints about what's possible when following the 16-8 method. If calming IBS, irritable bowel syndrome symptoms is your goal, then you may feel better within a week. If you're hoping to lose weight, improve your metabolic health, and lower inflammation, you'll likely need to practice 16-8 intermittent fasting for at least 3 weeks. But I don't find that always true. You can also see results for this pretty quickly if you are sticking to it and you're also starting to do some more physical activity. It's very beneficial. If you're looking for sustainable benefits like preventing disease, boosting your overall health, an intermittent fasting schedule may take a key part of your long-term diet strategy. So, I mean, you're going to feel results after that first week if you start that 16-8. You're going to feel it pretty quickly. So, I've not had any clients say, it's taken them any number of days or time that before they start. Usually it's by day 5, you're feeling something. Let me see. Let me go down here. Pretty Boss is encouraging to note that the certain metabolic functions can change within 24 hours. Okay, so let me show you guys this one. It's encouraging to note that certain metabolic functions can change within the first 24 hours of short-term fasting. For example, an 8-hour eating window, which is what you would have at a 16-8, an 8-hour eating window can positively shift your ability to burn sugar and fat almost immediately within a 24-hour period. So let's just say you start on Monday, right? You're starting that 16-8. By Tuesday, you're going to start seeing a shift in how your body's burning fat. That's how quickly it works, right? So it's not something you have to sit on for a long time and then you're not seeing any results. You're going to see results very quickly because you're now giving your body wants to naturally burn stored fat. It wants to naturally do that. But however, we keep raising those insulin walls by putting food in it and shutting down the ability for it to get into those fat storage pockets that it needs to get into. So that's why intermittent fasting is so effective, because you're allowing it to happen almost immediately, instantaneously, when you give it that 24-hour period. So if you started on Monday, so by Tuesday, you're going to start noticing the change in your mentality, the change in your energy levels. It happens very quick. So this is sticking with you. Let's see. On the other hand, you're experimenting with intermittent fasting to address irritable bowel syndrome. You might see symptoms improvement in just 10 days. So, yes.
We're going to leave.
Okay, bye. Love you. Sorry, my teenager coming through as usual and ignoring the sign. Okay, so my bad about that, you guys. Certain metabolic functions can change within 24 hours of short-term fasting. Okay, I already went through that. On the other hand, you're experimenting with intermittent fasting to address irritable bowel syndrome. Now, people are like, well, how does intermittent Well, people think, well, how does intermittent fasting help with IBS? Well, it helps with IBS because it is all about helping out your gut, resetting your gut, and also inflammation. This keeps all your inflammation in check. So that's exactly what you want to happen. It's not just IBS. This is like a plethora of illnesses and things that your body is going through. Intermittent fasting helps calm it all down because most things are happening to your body because of inflammation. So inflammation is one of the quickest things that responds to intermittent fasting, because now you're giving your body time for your body, your army inside to address those needs, rather than constantly having to break down food and constantly having to take those food deliveries elsewhere. So it really is a big part of your overall health. By intermittent fasting, you aren't going to just see benefits of losing pounds. You're going to see benefits of so many things. Like, my clients have gotten their arthritis in check, their gout in check, just the clarity and their focus, and all of the things that your body fights and struggles with and really wants to address, but you're not giving it time to address because you're constantly putting in food for it to break down. And then it has to put everything on pause to go and break down that food and then deliver all the nutrients and then the waste, everything where it needs to go. So you got it all tied up for 2 to 4 hours. You got it all tied up depending on how much food you put down the chute. So now you're giving it more time to fix those things, and it wants to do that naturally. So it goes and it takes care of business pretty quickly. So you're experimenting with intermittent fasting to address irritable bowel. You might see symptom improvements in just 7 to 10 days. That's for irritable bowel syndrome. I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? So if you have IBS and you've been on medication for years, and then this can happen in just 7 to 10 days. Your body can correct that for you just by doing a 16-8 method. That means 8 hours of eating and 16 hours of fasting, and that includes your sleep time. So if you're just doing an 8-hour schedule, like a 12 p.m. to 8, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., or you're doing 11 to 7, whatever your hour range is from the first time you put food into your mouth to the last time you put food into your mouth, giving it 8 hours, it's a very attainable. This is one of the most popular for my clients for sure. It's a very attainable schedule, and you can fluctuate on when you start and when you stop. So as long as it's just the 8 hours and you're giving your body that full 16 hours, you will keep that. Think about that. You've had IBS or any kind of ailments for years, and you can get that in check so quickly just from reducing that inflammation. I'm talking about arthritis. I'm talking about knee joint swelling, any kind of like back pains, neck pains, joint pains, any of that stuff, restless leg syndrome. It can all get in check because it's all inflammation driven. And that's what happens when you do the intermittent fasting, is getting that inflammation in check. So here's a chart showing what research says about health benefits, different kinds. So here, I'm going to leave it up here if you want to take a screenshot. So intermittent fasting periods. So if you're starting, this is all about the 16-8 method, which is pretty broad from 18 years old to 80, whatever plus, 100 years old. So intermittent fasting periods, 3 to 4 weeks. So this is 3 to 4 weeks that you've been doing the 16-8 method. So weight loss and lower body mass. So you lower your BMI, your body mass index, your fat on your body. You're lowering that. Smaller waist size and fat loss. So fat loss is going to take place. Thank you, Bo, for checking in on that for me. Improved insulin sensitivity and lower insulin levels, which what happens when you hear the word lower insulin levels, you always have to envision you're lowering those walls so that you can get into that stored fat area, right? So you're getting improved insulin sensitivity, which means your body is not going to skyrocket and stay stuck up in that high insulin stressed out stage. You're going to lower your insulin levels, decrease triglycerides, which is your cholesterol. So you're going to lower your cholesterol. You're going to improve your blood pressure and your heart rate. This is so good for people that have a history of heart issues in your family. This is a really good method to stick to, is the 16-8. Of course, your blood pressure relates to your heart, improved liver function, improved gut microbiome, which is, digestion. So if you have digestive issues, that's all going to be in check. I'm going right here. Wow, this is so many things. This is just in the beginning, you guys. Improved gut microbiome, which I already just said. Reduced leaky gut as a result of improved gut microbes. improved levels of gut hormones that regulate your appetite. So the things that, remember I talked about in the last episode, was the things that regulate your appetite are going to be those the gremlin. I call it the gremlin. It's the ghrelin, but it's the ghrelin that is released into your stomach to tell you that you're hungry, and then it produces leptides to let your brain know that you're full. So this is going to improve the conversation between your gut and your brain. Improved athletic endurance, which is also important, and reduce abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea, and nausea. I mean, there you go. Reduced abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea, and nausea. That's all in the first 3 to 4 weeks of doing the 16-8 method. The reason it says nausea is because if you are used to eating for, I don't know, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours of your day, your body is going to be producing the acid that goes into your stomach to help break that food down. It's very intelligent. So it knows, all right, you're about to eat something. Say it's 8 a.m. and you're now not starting to eat until 10 or 11 a.m. So at 8 a.m. though, like clockwork, your body's going to produce that acid to go inside of your stomach to break the food down. But if there's no food in there and then it keeps producing that acid to break more food down because it's used to another snack coming in or something else coming in, it's going to keep putting that acid in there. And that sometimes does make your stomach a little nauseous. So what I tell my clients is if they do the apple cider vinegar with a little water, apple cider vinegar, and some lemon can help that, or just an eighth of a teaspoon of baking soda in like 6 to 8 ounces of water will also help calm that down and rebalance your pH levels. So either that baking soda combination, which is like a little tiny like an eighth of a teaspoon in 6 to 8 ounces of water, mix that up and drink it down. And that should help pretty immediately, like within 15 minutes. That's good for if you're having acid reflux or any kind of digestive issue, doing that baking soda trick, or doing a couple teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in 6 to 8 ounces of water will also help level those pH balances back down. But that is all in just 3 to 4 weeks. All of these things can get into check with your health. All of that. Isn't that wild? Like, you don't have to wait months or years for all of these improvements to start happening. It can happen that quickly. So in 2 months, you can lower your C-reactive protein, which is your inflammation, which that's going to get in check. Your symptoms of that inflammation are going to get in check pretty quickly. You're going to lower your fat mass, improve athletic endurance. So a lot of more the same. So everything really starts taking place after, like, I would say 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most. It'll take to start seeing all of those changes. But I mean, it's insane. Like all of the things that happen just from doing a 16-8 method, just from intermittent fasting, right? That's it. You haven't taken a shot, bought any pills, done anything else. You're just shrinking your window. You haven't changed your diet or anything. You're just cutting out some of the meals that you eat in a day. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. 16-8 method is 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating. Doesn't mean that you take all those meals that you're cutting out and throw them into that 8 hours. Just eat what you can, what your body feels like doing in those 8 hours, and that's it. And then you reap all the amazing benefits and rewards, and you didn't spend a penny. You did all of this on your own. You're feeling more energetic. You're feeling more empowered. You have more endurance. You have more mental clarity, mental balance. Your moods are not all out of whack like they can be when you're constantly putting that insulin and throwing your hormones out of whack. Now, remember what we talked about in the last episode is your hormones guide everything that have to do with your health. So, how does your hormones play a role in intermittent fasting? What happens with your hormones when you're doing intermittent fasting? So, let's go there. Let's see. Where's your intermittent? Where is this? Is it this one? No. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. All right. Can you see this? No, you can't. Here we go. How intermittent fasting affects your hormones. Remember, hormones are the key element to your overall health is your hormones. Not many people do know that, but if you've been on this channel, if you haven't, make sure you do like and subscribe so you get notified when I do go live. And yeah, I'm happy to have you guys. And also, I want you guys to know that we are starting in April, and the summertime slim down, which we did last year. So we're starting in April to do that summertime slim down. So please do make sure that you go over to the YouTube channel. But this is only going to be for subscribers on Facebook and Instagram. Those subscribers that subscribe to the monthly to my monthly subscriptions, you'll get all the guidance, the knowledge, the know-how, the workouts, the lives, and all of those things. That's going to be starting in April for the summertime slim down. So make sure you go over there at Kara Chris TV on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe today. And we are still having our monthly raffle, which we will have on the 31st. And I will do it live for the new subscribers. You get entered in once for a new subscriber, and if somebody has referred you to become a subscriber, you need to put their name into you can send it to me messenger, or just put it into a comment when you subscribe and let me know their name so they get entered in twice. So good luck to you guys. It's for a goodies bag filled with lots of stuff for the your health and your fitness and your well-being. And before we move on, let me go to, you guys know, Metamucil, my sponsor. I love this stuff. It tastes like orange tang or something like really naughty, but it's so good for you because of the psyllium husk that is natural for your body. It does not leave any kind of havoc in your body when you take it. You can take it every day. I take 1 scoop a day if I know I'm not getting enough fiber. It's even good for the kiddos. They can take this too, and they love it because it's yummy. So, and it's not a weird color. Like there's some things that are good for you that are green in color, and the kids are like, no. But fiber is so important because it helps move all that waste out of your body instead of leaving the 10 to 12 pounds of backed up fiber or backed up waste in there that you haven't got out of your body because you haven't eaten enough fiber, which a lot of people don't. Many people do not. So this is a really quick and effective and efficient and safe way to do it, and that is with Metamucil. So this is a really great company to use. And also, while I'm on it, there's another great company that I'm going to share with you guys, and it is Trace Minerals. These Trace Mineral Drops are so good for you. I'm not sure why that is happening right there. These Trace Mineral Drops are so good for you when you're doing a long-term fast because it gives you all of your essential vitamins that you need in your body to continue on your journey without starting to feel what they call like a fasting flu. So these trace minerals give you the hydration. So the trace minerals are really good for people that do fast longer than the 16 hours, like a 24-hour fast or a 36-hour fast. So let's move on to how this works for your hormones, right? Okay. How intermittent fasting affects your hormones. Intermittent fasting may help you lose weight, but can also affect your hormones. That's because your body fat is the body's way of storing energy, right? So when you don't eat anything, your body makes changes to make stored energy more accessible. So when you're not, like I broke down for you guys earlier, when you don't eat food, your insulin walls come down, and now you can get into that's those storage tanks, right? So examples include changes in the nervous system activity. This is why it's so good for people that have like depression or bipolar or anything that has to do with the mentality of your well-being. So this levels your mental status out, which is exactly where you want to be, right? Let me see. Oh, let me roll this up real quick. Okay, coming back here. All right. So, let's see. Nervous system, weather. Okay. several crucial hormones, including insulin and nor- norepinephrine. So this is your adrenaline, your nervous system that causes no, wait, where does that say? Norepinephrine. Wait, I got what? Your nervous system sends this word to your fat cells, making them break down body fat into three fatty acids that can be burned for energy. So when you're doing your intermittent fasting, you're going to get your insulin in check, but you're also getting your noradrenaline in check. Okay, I don't know what the other norepinephrine. I just know the noradrenaline. So that's the key word. But it gets those in check. So it sends the signals down. Once your insulin levels come down, now it's like, okay, I'm going to send these three things out so it can go and start burning that fat. So the key thing is getting that insulin down and keeping it down, right? So short-term fasting may increase fat burning. Research shows that alternate day fasting and whole day fasting can reduce your body weight and body fat. Still more research is needed. We already know that. Another hormone that is altered during a fast is human growth hormone, which is very important to your vitality, your skin health, your hair, your nails, just all over, like regenerating new cells, beautiful cells, fresh cells, getting rid of the damage that's underneath the skin that still hasn't come to surface. That's your HGH. That's your fountain of youth. So, new research shows it may signal the brain to conserve energy, potentially making it harder to lose weight. If you're, what is this? But new research, previously research believed HGH helped burn fat faster. Okay, I don't know what that's on about. But your HGH is very important and it is released at higher amounts when you are doing your intermittent fasting. So, it's very important to do those things to know that how that operates. Intermittent fasting helps reduce calories and lose weight. Yes, we know that. And there's a quiz: how to succeed with intermittent fasting protocol. Okay, so how you succeed in staying into this intermittent fasting and making it work for you constantly. So try to eat mostly whole foods over packaged and processed ones, which you guys should know. I just tell my clients, just start substituting little things. Don't give yourself a full-on shock. First, just start with the eating window, shrinking the window and trying to stay in that pattern. And then slowly you're going to start to feel better, and that's going to motivate you, especially when you are used to nighttime snacking, let's say, and you chose not to, and you stuck to your program, and you're feeling empowered and you're feeling positive, and the next day you're feeling so good. You're waking up differently, you're sleeping differently, everything starts to change, and you'll never know unless you give it a go, right? So I say to my clients, give me 5 days of doing the intermittent fasting, and then they're so empowered, they want to go through the rest of the days. They start seeing the weight come off, they start feeling like the water weight, the swelling in their hands and the feeling of their body, the mental clarity and the balance that boosts of energy, and all of the aches and pains subsiding because the inflammation is going down. So it's very motivating. That is what drives you to start saying, okay, well, maybe I'll cut out on the sodas this week. Let me give that a go. Or maybe I'll stop eating fast food for every meal. Let me try and switch those French fries out for maybe a baked potato or something like that. So those are the little tweaks that you can start making. You don't have to jump off the boat and like dive in the deep. You can just start with the window and then slowly start substituting some things out to make it more of a, you know, journey that you can stick with. I'm all about those, reaching those molehills, tackling those little stages to reach that big reward. So make it attainable and maintainable. So that's how you want to do it. Patience is going to be your best friend also. So don't expect you're going to lose 20 pounds in, 2 days. Be patient. You're going to see results very quickly if you stick with it. I promise you. I haven't had a client that hasn't seen big results in that first week alone. It's impressive. Just got to give it a go. Set that little small time frame for yourself. Just say, I'm just going to do this for 5 days. I'm going to eat in this window, this 8-hour window for 5 days. And then then check in at 5 days and see. Okay, let's move along let's go to the swimsuits because I'm about out of time here today. But I'm happy I got my internet back, you guys. So I'm going to be able to go and start next week off fresh. And we are going to start it with the raffle winner. So it's going to be on Monday. I'm going to do that live. But I'm going to take you guys now to swimsuit. So when you do start losing that weight and you are starting to get into that space, what is the best swimsuit for your new body you're going to have? And I know you're going to have it because I'm okay. So what is the best swimsuit for you, for your body type? I know a lot of people, they kind of just roll with whatever they've had in their closet for a long time, or, they've gone in and out of the weight fluctuations and they just keep it, or you've got pregnancy bathing suits. But you want to look your best, right? You want to look your best, you want to feel your best. And especially if you put all this work in, you've been doing your intermittent fasting, and now to showcase what you got going on. So here is let me share that. Sorry. A swimsuit guide. Oh, I think I already did that. For your body type. And let me minimize myself. There we go. All right, let me see which one I'm going to click on because I do have a few that I feel like are in my oops, there we go. Can you see this? Let's see if it'll scroll. No, it won't. So this is interesting. Why is it not? Okay. Gotta go back. Sorry, I'm sharing the wrong screen. My bad. My bad. This is the look. I'm still getting to know how to operate this whole live stream thing. Here we go. So this is if your body types are like this, these are the types of suits that are more flattering to that style body type. And I'm going to show you another site that I really thought was very cool. It is a tummy control. Guys are so simple, right? You guys can just like put on board shorts, and that's the option. They can be short, or they can be long, or they can be, bikini style. That's about it for you guys. You guys don't have to worry about any of the other things. Hold on, let me shrink myself a little bit. Whoops, not that way. So these are some of the things that are great for your type of body to accentuate it in the best way. So this site I'm about to show you is like like skins, or what do you wear underneath to control the body, to like pull the body in and make it look tight and right in all the right places. Your underneath garments that help shape your body in the way that it's meant to look when all is. Sometimes you lose that weight and you still have all that extra skin, but the intermittent fasting will help get that skin tight again because you're constantly producing more HGH, your human growth hormone, and you're also replenishing your body every 3 months. So you're going to be putting out all that good stuff that your body needs to tighten that skin up. The elastin and the collagen and all of those things will come along with your 16-8 method. So this is me. Let me see if I can get there. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Get snatched. That's funny. This is the company that I wanted to show you guys. Ladies, here, I'll give you a second. If you want to screenshot this, remember, if you're not watching this, you're just listening to this on audio, and you want to go back and be able to screenshot and see some of the things that I'm posting up, go to @KaraChrisTV on YouTube, and then you can see it underneath my live videos or my podcast, Behind the Layers podcast. So also make sure you like and subscribe so you know I'm going live and you can get in on the action. And if you're ready for that summertime slim down, that is going to be for my subscribers only on Instagram and Facebook. And that's going to start in April. So if you want to get in on this raffle that's going out for the gift bag for this month, which is going to be on March 31st, if you want to get in on that, go ahead and subscribe now over at Facebook or Instagram at Kara Chris TV, and you'll get in on this raffle. And if someone has mentioned you or referred you, please do put their name in the comments so they get an added ticket in the raffle. But I will be doing that live on the 31st. So, and then we're going to start our summertime slim down. So I hope you get in on the action. Here is, let me share the screen. I'm sorry, I usually time that out. Okay. All right. So this company is really cool because it has this swimwear on here, right? That gets your body, takes your body and kind of tucks it and sucks it all in. Even if you've lost that weight, maybe you did the shot, maybe you're doing fasting, intermittent fasting, and you've lost the weight, but you still have that skin. Doing their skin, getting your body to shape how it wants to be naturally is, it's a really nice feeling. And you want to feel good when you're out, especially when you're being in your most vulnerable space and bearing it all. So this company, Mega Sculpting Swimwear, they do just that. They make suits that shape you all up. So all of these things that are on the screen right now are all have body shapers in them. So when you put them on, they're real nice and snug and put everything in the place it's supposed to be. So you can feel confident when you're on the beach, when you can feel confident when you're by the pool. So that you want to showcase yourself in the best light. And to do that also comes with some confidence, right? Like you got to have confidence in the way that you're feeling so it can exude through the energy that you're putting out there. So this is a really great company, and I just got my first piece, so I'm going to try that on and showcase that on some of my shorts. So make sure you do like and subscribe on all my platforms. Is Kara Chris TV, and that's CARACHRIS TV. And I'm going to showcase this little bit right here because it's important for me to know exactly how something looks and feels before I put 100% stamp of approval on it from myself. So it has shaping swimwear, shaping dresses, cover-ups, new arrivals for all these things. So if you can see all of these things, this is so cute, especially it is a little more pricey, but from what I have been told from other people that have used this company, is that the quality is so good and they've had theirs for many years and it's, it feels so good. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you guys today. I know today is a little bit shorter of an episode, but I was just so excited that the internet was back on and running and that I could get out here for you guys and put a new episode up. Let me make sure. Let me do this. My bad. Here we go. I'm doing it. I got this. Okay. So anyway, that's it for today, you guys. Happy Friday. I hope that you got some great knowledge today from Behind the Layers, where I'm always going to bring you the best of my knowledge in the fitness, health, and beauty industries. Trying to bring all my expertise to the table for you guys to learn from so you can learn how to live your best life from the inside out. And most of the time, I'm trying to get you there without spending a dime. Just the way you approach your lifestyle and making the new lifestyle changes is how to do it. And I'll be here to explain that to you so you guys can jump right in without having to spend a penny or a dime on anything extra. I'm bringing my expertise in nutrition and health and fitness, and also in the beauty industry with my esthetician licensing, with skincare and massage therapy, just helping you to learn how to live your best life from the inside out without spending a dime. So make sure you do like, follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on. I'm on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and I feel like I left left one out. But all the platforms, Kara Chris TV. So I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and supporting this podcast, Behind the Layers. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye. Thank you, Bo. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping me. As always, much love to you guys. So much love.